A very wise person once said, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And with 2019 upon us, I wanted to cover a few strategic planning frameworks that we really recommend here at Community Boost so your organization can have its, best year it's ever had in the upcoming year. So I'm about to dive into a bit of a Frankenstein method of different planning techniques, but the majority do come from a very good book called Scaling Up. We'll be sure to include a link to that, as well as a couple other references in the corresponding blog post to give credit where credit is due. So I'm going to dive into the three key phases of this process. Phase one, reflection and reviewing stakeholder feedback. Phase two, taking inventory of the present and analyzing the four key functions of your organization. And phase three is effective goal setting so you can scale impact. When and how long does this process take? Ideally, if you can dedicate at least a full day, preferably an offsite to this process, that would be great. And you certainly want to invite senior leadership. And it's also encouraged to do some internal and external surveys and gather your financials prior to the big day. First, review your milestones and the goals you set for the past year. How did you do overall? You want to review the highs and lows month by month. I like to look at my calendar in this process and write out what were the top lessons you learned. What do you want to take with you and what do you want to leave behind? Next is you want to review team member feedback on surveys. I actually have another post about how to do that. And you want to review donor and beneficiary feedback if possible. Also, I'm going to include a link to what we call the one-page personal plan. If you can do that for your leadership team, that can be really insightful as well as we grow in our personal lives over the years. Last, just review your core values, your mission statement, your overall vision. Are we still living into these things? So we're moving into phase two. We want to take inventory of the present and analyze the four key functions of our organization. I like to do a strength, weaknesses, and trends exercise. Go through your SWT in your space. On the trends front, what are the significant changes in technology, distribution, product innovations, your market, your donors, social trends around the world that might impact your industry and your organization? From there, you want to dive into strengths. What are the inherent strengths of your organization that have really been the source of your success to date? You want to be real with that. I'm about tripling down on key strengths. Next, you want to dive into your weaknesses. What are the inherent weaknesses of your organization that really aren't likely to change? And we need to be self-aware of those. From there, you want to take time to review the four key functions of your organization, which are people, strategy, execution, and cash. What is going well in these areas? What needs improvement in these areas? Once you do that, you have a strong grasp of how things are going. Now the fun part, phase three, effective goal setting to scale impact. So first, set a plan for 3 years from now. Then from there, you can reverse engineer what you need to accomplish each year to get there. Thinking about your people, your strategy, your execution, and cash. We typically underestimate what we can do in 5 years, overestimate what we can do in 1. 3 is perfect. And then with this upcoming year, I like to set a theme. What's really the theme of this year? If we're gonna kick this year's butt in one sentence, what is that? Set your objectives and your key results. What are the key objectives we have to accomplish and the key results and how we're gonna measure whether we did it or we didn't. You've gone through this process, taken a half day or a full day offsite with your leadership team. It can be really, really impactful and ultimately save you a lot of time and energy long term and set you up for a more fulfilling and high impact year. That's how we've been really kind of tackling our own years here at Community Boost. It's been really beneficial for us. If you have any questions about this process, don't hesitate to reach out. I love this stuff. I can nerd out on it all day. If you found this valuable, share with a friend. Tag someone who you think can get value out of this post. And in the meantime, as always, slam that subscribe button and we'll have more great content coming for you soon. See ya.